Alright, let's do it. The mystery zone? Chat, women are a mystery, and I don't know how to talk to them.
Okay, I am the problem.
Wow, self-awareness. She might be a keeper. Let's find out.
I went on a date with this guy, and he was like, it's getting late. Do you want to come back to my place? And I was like, sure, but I'm not going to sleep with you.
Okay, demonstrating value, making good choices.
And he was like,
Kinda strong.
that's totally fine. Just come over.
Okay, being supportive, recognizing her needs. That's a good exchange.
Right.
So I go to his place. He respects my wishes. He's so nice. He cuddles me all night. And I'm like,
oh my god, cuddles? Oh, that's so lewd. The only thing I cuddle are my fucking plushies.
are you gay?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, we were so close.
Yeah, okay, you are the problem. So you said no, but you meant yes, and when he didn't
I feel so betrayed right now.
figure it out, that made him weak. This is what I call the mystery zone.
Respecting women, that's gay. That's so homophobic too, by the way, just saying.
It's when women say things that don't match what they want.
I'm half joking, but like, holy frick, man.
And they expect you to figure it out. Someone made this cartoon about it.
Are you flirting with me?
Not one bit.
Does saying not one bit so seductively mean you actually are flirting with me?
Not at all.
What the hell is happening right now?
That is
Man, that was kind of steamy, bro.
exactly how the mystery zone works. That is what she probably did. Bill Burr
Chat, just let's be clear. If you respect women, you're gay.
also has a famous bit on that. He's not the only one. So first of all, I've been told that she is a comedian and that this is a joke. So please refer to my previous work on jokes. There's this one, and then there is Abby's Perfect Man. That was a good one. It may very well be a joke, but that doesn't mean that they don't mean it. The joke is, I'm not supposed to say it out loud. So to be really quick about it, every joke needs a target. That's what gets punched. That's why they call it a punchline. And every joke needs an example of...
Every joke has a grain of truth to it as well. That's the reason why jokes are funny sometimes. Because you can joke about something when it's relatable, and it has to have like a grain of truth to it in order for it to be funny. If it's untrue, it doesn't hit the audience. Yeah, like, what are we doing here?
Doing it wrong. So if your target is something that your audience is okay with you punching, and the thing you're doing wrong is something that your audience can tolerate you doing wrong, you're more likely to get a laugh. Her target is herself, I am the problem, and her doing it wrong is, I am playing dangerous games. I am saying no when I mean yes, because when I get what I want anyway, it's more fun than when I say yes and mean yes. Here's a last-minute edit. She's saying it's more fun for me to put men through this, which confuses them, which results in no one knows what means what. That's why they came out with these enthusiastic consent laws a few years ago.
Ugh. Can I just say, as a woman, I'm gonna have to say this delicately. I understand there has to be a cat and mouse game with women flirting and stuff, but like, holy fuck, not like this, man. You can't do this shit where it's like, no, I don't want to like date you, or like, I don't want to, I'm not flirting, and then like you twiddle your hair. Like, what the hell is enthusiastic consent? You have to like say yes! It's so cringe. Like, yeah, too much mouse, not enough cat. Like, it's like, I understand that's like the fun of it, and that's flirting, and it's like dating, and it's fun, but At the same time, you swung the pendulum way too far, and now it's like, no means no, but also yes, and then if you say no too many times, that actually means no.
It's apparently pretty complicated. Here's a 3-year-old post. I feel dirty for opening Reddit.
It's not that fun. Oh, it's fun for women. Guys, don't misunderstand me. I'm not a male. I know, shocker. Women love doing this because it like feeds into their like primal like you know what I'm saying? Like women love that shit, but at the same time, I think you have to be a smart woman to realize like, hey, maybe I shouldn't do this kind of cringe shit like too much or too often or take it too far. It's fun for psychopaths. No, women, it's like a butterfly effect, man. I know, maybe I'm taking this too far and I'm trying to explain how women work, and women are complicated and kind of annoying to deal with on a flirting level. I wish I could just explain it to you with, like, explaining the feeling to you. Women want to be chased, and essentially you have to reel them in, but don't be, like, too desperate. And it's cringe, but women love that shit.
Says, is enthusiastic consent a heightened standard of consent, or is it a pleonasm, whatever that is? It gets academic. So these laws are intended to simplify all of this down to just this. It's either a very clear yes or it's a no. And then you don't have to worry about ending up in any of these bad boxes because she said no and meant no, but you thought she meant yes because you are...
Yeah, this is where it gets dangerous. Like, how the hell is a man supposed to know? Yeah, you're scratching your, like, little head and you're like, what the hell does this even mean? I don't blame you. I totally get it. What if you miscommunicate and you do the wrong thing and then the woman cries, no, you essayed me. It's like, no, that's not what I did, man. And men are bad at communication. That can totally happen as well. I totally understand. You have to be delicate, and it sucks. Walking on eggshells makes people not even want to try.
Used to girls who say no and mean yes.
I love this picture, by the way. It's so smug.
And you don't know where the lines are. And it would be great if we could simplify it down to this, but writing laws does not make women choose.
And also, you're putting an entity above humans, well, above the average person, to determine what is and isn't correct, which is really, really bad. We already went through this today. Having the government or like a group of people dictate what isn't and isn't okay, and writing laws on things like this can be a very, very bad thing. But it can also be beneficial. It just depends. But like, anyway, it's besides the point.
To communicate this way. They still
Giving people rules
choose
like
to
that.
play these games because it's more fun. So writing a law doesn't actually prevent anyone from ending up in any of these bad boxes. They just create more punishments when they happen. Don't do this. By the end of this video, I'm going to show you the simplest way to learn the skill of dealing with this nonsense. If you like learning new skills in a simple way, you should try Shortform, the sponsor of this video. Shortform is an easier way to learn new things. See, there's one already. It's a library of nonfiction in summary form, so you can absorb key takeaways faster. I use Shortform to brush up on old classics and to discover new things. You can quickly learn about motivation, communication, business, and a lot more. I always wanted to read Thinking Fast and Slow, but I didn't have time. This summary helps me understand major points like the 2 systems of the mind. Shortform publishes new book guides and articles every week, and as a member, you get to vote on which ones. They even have their own AI browser extension to summarize articles and videos at the click of a button. Click my link in the video description to sign up. If you're in the first 500, you'll get a free trial with unlimited access and 20% off membership, so act fast. If you want access to one of the most powerful forms of learning I've seen, use the link in the video description for a free trial and 20% off. So why do women choose this? Let's ask her.
I wasn't going to sleep with him, now I feel ugly. I just wanted him to like try, and then for me to be like, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh my god!
What you mean is, hey buddy, don't try it, but I secretly want you to try a little, but only up to a certain point. And if you...
And that line is where this becomes so muddied and super complicated, and you require experience, you require trial and error. Maybe you talk to like a woman about it, books, information, internet. Like this is why I hate this shit, and also why you shouldn't put this into a law effect. There's a line, yes, unfortunately. Where is the line? I don't know.
Get past that point,
and it also depends on the fucking girl, man. That's the other thing.
It's gonna be bad for you, but I'm not gonna tell you what that point is. I'm gonna tell you not to try, but I want you to try up to a certain point. And if you cross that point, your life is over. Yep. And if you don't get close enough to that point, I'm gonna tell everyone in the group chat. What you mean is that you love chaos, which is typical. The feminine principle is the dark principle in most spiritual systems.
I think I understand, actually. No? Evil comes from women! You know what? You're right.
It's receptive, it's chaotic, whereas the masculine principle is orderly and light and direct. It's assertive and receptive. It works like a battery, one feeds into the other. The more feminine she is.
And that's why I think men and women are so beautiful. Ugh. This philosophical shit gets me all romantical.
The more she wants life to happen to her. She wants you to make things happen. She wants you to...
And that's why women need to have a dad. Because they have to have order in their lives. And if they don't have that, then they develop daddy issues. And then it's overcorrection. And they have that in too much of their man. And they try to have them as a father figure. Don't go there. Oh, I will go there. I'm just saying. I mean, again, chat. Hold on. If you don't have a dad as a man, this can happen as well. You get mommy issues. It goes both ways. It's bad. I've met men with mommy issues. It's not pretty. Yo, Anonymous, think of 10 gifted. Are you feeling romantical? Is that what you're gifting?
Say what is going to happen next. She doesn't want to tell you what to make happen. That's where we get these areas where she says nothing but wants something, or when she says or does something that doesn't match what she wants. Because if she comes out and just says very clearly, I want this to happen, well, then everyone wins, but it's also safer, which is less fun. Because she doesn't get to be receptive. She had to say what was going to happen. She wants you to do that. And I know someone is going to say...
They want you to read their damn mind.
But everyone's like that. Everyone's different. And that's kind of true, but not really. Most women are very feminine and are looking for men who are masculine and dominant. There are more masculine women. I've met them. They don't do very much of this. They just kind of say, here's what's happening, here's what's not happening, and then you go, okay, great. And there isn't very much of this. But most...
That is really interesting. Huh. Yeah, I guess... Alana might be masculine leaning. No, I'm a dumb bitch. I know. I mean, we already know that. But I'm a dumb bitch. I like playing the cat and mouse game, but I don't take it too far. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, you raped me. I'm gonna not talk to you because you were too forward. That's fucking cringe. No, I'm not gonna do that shit. I'm not gonna call you gay for not, like this chick that did the joke at the start. The joke. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's just so not my thing. And by my thing, I mean I have a brain between my ears that's semi-functioning.
Women are not like that. Most women will communicate like this or not at all, and they want you to say, here is what is happening now, and you need to be correct about what she wanted, whether she said it or not. So how do you do that? Yeah, we don't know either. That's why they have websites explaining it for college students in Australia, I guess.
Of course, it's Australia. Again, I have to preface, there are some good ideas of having, like, healthy understanding of consent and how, like, sometimes people take it too far, but putting that in the hands of the government is also not a good idea. It's a slippery slope. What was I gonna read here? Oh, I have a friend of a friend who's an ex-gang member and his girlfriend's super aggressive and angry because she wants excitement and conflict. That's actually that's a trauma thing, and it's explained through wanting to feel like that because that's what they're used to. It's not necessarily something that's a hyper masculine thing of how they developed. It's more like that's what's comforting to them. It's like how people who are abuse victims and all they had in their life was their parents screaming, and they don't feel safe when there's not, like, what is it called? Like, when there's no conflict in their life and they grow up into an adult and they have a relationship with a partner, sometimes they'll just want fights out of nowhere because that's what they've been through all their life, and that's what's comforting them, and it stops the anxiety from happening from when they feel normal, and it's like a weird, like, response in their brain. God, I'm so fucking bad at explaining. God damn it. This is why I write shit down when I want to talk about something. Like, you want what you are familiar with, and when you don't have that, you get anxiety, so therefore you subconsciously trigger fights. I feel like something's wrong with this, or things are chaotic and constant fighting. Yes, and it's a subconscious thing. That's why I feel bad when people talk to me about, like, relationships and they're, oh, I have a boyfriend that's, like, constantly trying to fight with me, and I'm like, did they grow up in a bad household? Oh yeah, they did. And I'm like, well, there's your fucking answer. Oh my god, you made me lag out. Oh my god, was that 100? Holy shit! Yo, can I add some gift chats in the chat? Oh my god, you actually made my mix it up lag again. God damn. Yo, regular gamer, thank you so much. Yo, holy fuck, guys! If you gotta give this up, please say thank you. We only have so many Oilers, man. Oh my god, 100. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going with the video. Thank you.
The website provides 5 core concepts of consent in case you want to bring notes, and it breaks down seeking and receiving consent into verbal and reading body language, which doesn't...
Oh my god. But then if you talk about reading body language as, like, a psychologist on television, then you're like, what is it called? They call people like that scam artists. Like, what do you mean reading body language? Everybody's body's different.
Solve any problems, because if she's playing dangerous games, if her words and intentions don't match, you can't solve that problem by saying, please tell me what happens now. Please take this role and say what happens next. This is what she's trying to do. You can't be this. And reading body language is just reading her mind. It's just figuring these out. That was the original problem. We don't speak body language. Imagine going to court and saying, but Your Honor, she nodded and smiled. That's...
This is what I mean. She nodded and smiled, but, like, she probably felt pressured because she was in the moment thinking about the consequences. Like, how are you supposed to know? Like, this becomes, like, such an amplification when you stack such things on top of each other and trying to decipher thoughts, feelings, responses. How the fuck, what if you're in a court trial 4 years after the fact? How are you going to remember what happened that night except for, like, key details? How are you going to remember? Like, what? It's an intimate moment.
Really missing the point. People write these pages and pages of instructions because they're trying to create cognitive, logical processes to make up for emotional skills that a lot of young men just don't have. And a lot of old ones too. So knowing what to do with these strategies...
And also women, man. Like, Women being emotionally immature is also a problem.
Comes from experience. It does not come from reading words on a screen. Although you should read the screen, it's better than nothing. So if you don't have experience and you think you're being messed with,
this is like such a messed up analogy, but I'll try and like break it down too. If you're about to get essayed as a woman and you get quote unquote moist, that doesn't mean you're consenting either. Like, it's a slippery slope. That doesn't mean it's okay. Like, it's just like, moist? No, guys, don't fucking laugh. This is serious. I'm being so fucking serious right now. Shut up. And also, a man, if he's getting essayed, if he gets he pops a chub, that doesn't mean that's okay either. Exactly. Just say horny. Sorry, like, I'm just trying to be, like, so people get the fucking idea. It's like, it doesn't work like that. Upholding that in a court of law, it's like kind of cringe, man. Like, don't start putting this in the hands of the law.
If you need to know what are your options, please notice that these are the good choices on these diagonals, and these are the bad choices on these diagonals.
That's bad
please
shit.
also notice that these bad choices, where you go home or say no, are way preferable to these bad choices. I put skulls on them. So if she says no, but still wants you to try and you don't.
Are you gay?
And if she says yes and means yes and you don't, then that's just her problem.
But now I feel ugly.
And if she says nothing...
What do you mean he cuddled with you all night? How does that make you ugly? Oh my god, these women are so fucking dumb. Just breaking it down to her saying that it's a joke, it's like your self-deprecation and saying, oh, I'm ugly. It's like that. That's not even true. You're not even ugly. You're ugly on the inside, in my opinion. 30 seconds still as, okay.
And wants you to try, then it's
Okie
why don't
dokie.
men get hints? These are all very tolerable compared to these. Okay, are you frustrated yet? Take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay, this seems like a lot. It seems complicated. Women sometimes will withhold communication or say the opposite of what they mean on purpose in order to test you and see if you can read their minds, which of course you cannot, otherwise we wouldn't be here. And it can lead to this whole grid of possible outcomes that are very difficult to calculate in the moment. And it's such a big recurring issue that every generation of comedians keeps coming up with their own material about it. And I don't know if you remember this song from 11 years
Oh my god, what a throwback. Boom.
ago. I'm still mad about this. The song is called Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke, and he tried to use it to address this whole minefield, but then everyone kind of attacked him, so he sort of just stepped on a mine. But you don't have to do that.
They blew his legs off for that.
I'm going to reduce this whole thing to a 2x2 grid. I like grids. And then if you end up here, a subsequent 2x2 grid, and then one weird trick to start understanding body language if you don't already. Because let's face it, if men could...
Oh my gosh. Body language with women.
read a set of instructions like this and understand what it means by providing another visual affirmative cue, then this wouldn't be a multi-generational point of contention.
Exactly.
You should read the instructions anyway. They're just...
Do you ever read one of those fucking nasty fan fictions or novels? Do you ever hear the characters like being like, oh my god, keep going, and then they like remove their like clothes? Or you watch a porno that has like scenes where it's like, oh yeah, keep going. Yes, keep going. It's like, I don't know, I feel like it's just kind of weird.
Not comprehensive.
Nobody
but first, here
does
are the
that.
simplified instructions. Okay, we no longer live in a cohesive society that maintains stable relationships. We live in an unholy sex tornado where people make whatever choices they want, and
So my
if you
chat
try to
does
tell
every
them
day.
not to do that, they scream at you. Usually it's something like this, and usually they look something like that. If you are a man who has any kind of success in the tornado, you will probably encounter some women who play games. They will either not say what they're thinking or say the opposite of what they're thinking and then expect you to make the correct guess. This can be very confusing, but it doesn't have to be. First of all, Forget about what you don't know. This is a good rule for everywhere in life. Why would you worry about what someone is thinking but not saying? That's like worrying that maybe there's a meteor hurtling towards you right now. You don't know that. Why would you worry? So what do you know? You know what she is.
Yeah, like how would you even know? Why are you worrying about it? That's a really common like woman thing, worrying about something that doesn't exist. I'm sorry, I do that as well. I do.
Saying to you and what she is doing with her body. In this story, she said, I'm not going to sleep with you, but then she put her body in his bed. He didn't try anything, and she was mad. He made the right choice. That's this box right here. We'll get to that one last. First of all, a verbal no and a body language no is always a no. That should not require additional explanation.
Okay,
Second of all,
yep,
a
that's
verbal
easy.
yes, but a body language no is also a no. This is another good rule for life in general. It's very easy to lie with your words. It's very difficult to lie with your actions. If people say one thing and do another, trust what they do. She's not into it.
Yep.
Bail out. Third of all, if she says yes and her body language is yes, it's usually okay to proceed unless she's intoxicated.
I'm sorry, it's just so funny to me. You can proceed. What am I, a fucking car? You can proceed parking?
But finally,
Yeah,
if
usually
she
too.
says no but is acting
Usually
like yes,
proceed.
you get to this box here, which can confuse
Yep.
some people, and there's no
Intoxication,
reason
sure.
for that to be. To explain why, I have expanded this box. So if she's saying no but acting like yes, oh my god,
Get called gay!
stop, don't. You have two choices. You can try something or go home. Now, if you go home and she wanted you to do something, she might call you gay. So, I get called gay 1,000 times a day. Actually, they usually say in.
I can't believe people call him an incel. That's pathetic. I feel like this guy would be like a really good partner because he's like figured everything out and like he you know what? It would be really annoying being this person's wife or girlfriend because he would argue you to fucking death. He wouldn't be one of those men that just kind of gives up after like, I don't know, 50 rounds of like arguing and going around the mountain. He would try and club you over the head and be like, why are you mad? I'm right. Because some women will be like, oh, I wanted to admit even though I'm wrong because I'm getting tired of fighting. Yeah, yap maxing, but he's not one to give up because he will go around the mountain. He'll pull out his little cards and be like, bitch. And like he'll have a little like, you know, pointer thingy and just be like, psst, psst, psst.
Say insult. It's a very similar level insult, and I sleep like a baby. So what? Go home. If you go home and she didn't want you to do anything, nothing happens. No good things and no bad things happen. Neutral.
That's okay.
If you try something and she wanted you to try something, what are you going to get? Are you going to get a wife and the mother of your children? No. You're going to get a random sweaty hookup, and it might not even be that good. On the other hand, if you try something and you were wrong and she didn't want you to, I've drawn you a
nuclear explosion. That's apt.
little nuclear explosion to simulate what might happen to your life. Don't
bomb.
do this. So the reason people are confused and keep writing songs about this is because they think winning this game means either ending up here or, if you end up here, knowing when to make the right call. But even if you do make the right call, what are you getting? A woman.
And that's why that's why men don't even try sometimes. They have one bad experience and they just don't even want to. Random hookups are the best. You're such a capper. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh.
And who plays games. What do you want that for? So the real winning move is to go home, let her say whatever she wants, and find a better woman later. So we'll just put a red X in this box too. Don't mess with girls that play games. That means the only box you're looking for is the verbal yes and the body language yes. But if you don't understand how to read body language, what good is it to read a list that says Seeking consent can look like reading body language with a list of examples. So these games wouldn't be games if everyone knew what was going on. Women tend to think that men know what they're thinking more than we really do, and they
And you know what's funny? I could make an analogy for this. If you're min-maxing a game and you know every single rule about it, then that's the unfun part of figuring out a game. And that's what that's how women's brains work. They don't like that some people can figure them out and they want them to be direct. Yeah, like men are the ones that are like, I want to min-max this and get from point A to point B. But women don't want that. They want the adventure.
will always say things like, why don't men get hints? And then their hints are just like, they'll look at you real quick and look away, even though they also do that to guys they don't like. And people shouldn't do this. They should communicate clearly. And if they don't, you should usually leave. But they're also not gonna stop doing these things, especially not overnight. So your only option is to get better at discerning this from this. A lot of guys don't like this and they say, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what you're thinking until you tell me.
And a lot of men do like playing games and they're called womanizers.
And you're not wrong. It's just that when you say that, you are asking women to learn to communicate differently while...
But then you get into trouble with women. If you're a womanizer, you've probably had encounters with women that are crazy. Most of the time. Or a lot of the time. It's a 50-50.
You are not learning to communicate differently, and that's not how you make your life better. You have to do some of the work. Earlier, I promised you one weird trick for doing that. Here it is. Lists like these will say, just read body language, bro. Just check for signs. And that doesn't always work.
But they don't give you the signs. It's a smile and a nod, chat.
Because this is an emotional skill. You cannot read it off a list. Men are usually in their heads, the logical part. They're thinking about words and reading lists. Women are usually more in the feelings, the what do I want part of being human, and where do I fit in, who am I, what's going on here. So as a man, you're going to need to use your...
I hate men. I hate that you're logical, but I also like that you're logical. I don't know how to explain it. I know that a lot of women can probably relate to that. I hate that men are logical, but I also like that you're logical.
Head to get into your feelings. This is a skill that takes time. You are bringing your subconscious mind...
What does it mean? I don't know! It's an emotional thing! God damn it, do I have to explain everything to you?
into your conscious mind by checking on it. So when you are in a situation where you do not know what someone else is feeling, stop using reason and logic and ask yourself, does this person feel more like they are watching the waiter bring out appetizers or more like they are watching the cops bring a speeding ticket? Because the behaviors can look quite the same. They might be sitting patiently, smiling politely, they might say thank you, but the emotional experience is very opposite. This is desirable, this is not. Your job is to know when you are the waiter and you are the cop. And it's going to take time.
Yeah.
You're going to be slow.
And that's why a lot of men get discouraged. They either don't want to put in the effort or they just give up because it's not worth it, which is totally fine, by the way. It's your call. I don't blame you for not wanting to go through that shit. Again, my brother is good at talking to women. But at the end of the day, after a certain point, he kind of gave up. He did. He gave up. He said, I'm fine with dying alone. I'm just going to take care of myself. I'm going to get a cat and a dog and I'm going to live by myself. And then he got a wife, but like that's besides the point. You have to concede the fact that sometimes if you don't find the woman of your dreams or you don't find the partner, you should be okay with dying alone. That's what I understood from my brother.
Piping your subconscious thoughts into your
Be
conscious
happy with
mind.
yourself.
And even if you get good at it, you will not always know what's happening, but that's okay because that means you're dealing with someone who isn't telling you, and then there's only one good choice anyway. Another problem solved forever. You're welcome. All you have to do is forget about mind reading and making guesses. Focus on what you do know, like words and actions. If you are having trouble interpreting the actions, use the cop waiter trick to get out of your head and into your emotional process.
That's really smart, actually. You try and break it down into an emotional response and try to remember this. That's smart.
And if you still don't know what's going on, then don't roll the dice on this. These are not equivalent outcomes. And that's how you avoid women who know that they are the problem.
Why is there like toilet flushing in the background? I heard that. I heard that, man. That was a really good video. That was fun. Those are the best ones? Yeah, sure, whatever you want. Chad, I think the guy that's saying that he likes random hookups with girls, I think he's a level 1 out of 10 or a level 3 out of 10. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get